Hello, dear children, and welcome back to the second part of the Civics chapter, Class 10 Power Sharing. Children, in this video, we will discuss why power sharing is desirable and what are the different forms of power sharing. So, let us begin by discussing the first topic, that is, why power sharing is desirable. Two different sets of reasons can be given in favor of power sharing. Number one, prudential reason. Number two, moral reasons. Let us begin with the prudential reasons first. Firstly, power sharing is good because it helps to reduce the possibility of conflict between social groups. It leads to political stability. And thirdly, it leads to the unity of the nation. Taking up the moral reasons, deeper reasons why power sharing is good for democracies is that power sharing is the very spirit of democracy. A democratically ruled country involves sharing power with those affected by its exercise and who have to live with its effect. People have a right to be consulted on how they can be governed. And the second moral reason is that a legitimate government is formed where citizens through participation acquire a stake in the system. Now, children, we come up to the second topic, that is forms of power sharing. In modern democracies, power sharing arrangements can take many forms. Let us look at some of the most common arrangements that we have or we will come across. Number one, power is shared among different organs of the government. Second, powers can be shared among different levels of the government. Third, power may also be shared among different social groups. And fourth, power sharing arrangements can also be seen in a way political parties and pressure groups and movements control or influence those in power. So, in the first form of power sharing, power is shared among different organs of the government, such as the legislature, executive, and judiciary. It is also known as horizontal distribution of power because it allows different organs of government placed at the same level to exercise different powers. Such a separation ensures that none of the organs can exercise ultimate power. Each organ checks the other. This results in balance of power among various institutions. Therefore, this arrangement is also called a system of checks and balances. So next, children, power is shared among governments at different levels. A general government for the entire country and governments at the provincial or regional level. Such a general government for the entire country is usually called federal government. In India, we refer to it as the central or the union government. The governments at the provincial or regional levels are called by different names in different countries. In India, we call them as state governments. In our country, as we have different levels of government, the constitution clearly lays down the powers of different levels of different governments. This is what they did in Belgium but was refused in Sri Lanka. This is called federal division of power. The same principle can be extended to the levels of government lower than the state government, such as municipality and panchayat. We can also call this form of power sharing as vertical division of power sharing, because in this higher and lower levels of government are not equal. Some more powers are given to the center government as compared to the state governments and the lower levels of government. Children, the third form of power sharing. In this, power is shared among different social groups such as religious and linguistic groups. Community government in Belgium is a good example of this arrangement. In some countries, there are constitutional and regal arrangements whereby socially weaker sections and women are represented in the legislature and administration. For example, in our country, reserve constituencies are kept in assemblies and the parliament of our country. This type of arrangement is meant to give space in the government and administration to diverse social groups who otherwise would feel alienated from the government. This method is used to give minority communities a fair share in power sharing. Last but not the least, is the fourth form of power sharing, in which power sharing arrangements can also be seen in the way political parties, pressure groups, and movements control or influence those in power. In contemporary democracies, this take the form of competition among different parties. Such competition ensures that power does not remain in one hand. In the long run, power is shared among different political parties that represent different ideologies and social groups. Sometimes this kind of sharing can be direct, when two or more parties form an alliance to contest elections. If their alliance is elected, they form a coalition government and thus share power. Again, with regard to the pressure groups, in a modern democracy, we find interest groups such as those of traders, businessmen, industrialists, farmers, and industrial workers. They also will have a share in government power, either through participation in governmental committees or bringing influence on the decision making process. So, with this, we come to the end of the second part of the chapter, Power Sharing. Thank you and God bless you.